What's up? What's going on out there, y'all? How's everybody doing this morning? Where we at? Tuesday morning. I'm on the grind still, y'all. I'm on the grind on my way to Sugabears. The grind don't stop. The grind don't stop. This is the hardest grind I've ever had in my life, to tell the truth. Running a business is not easy. I say it all the time. I'm on another rant this morning just to get stuff off my chest, one of the reasons I drink, which I haven't had a drink now in about 4 days, fighting this battle of alcohol, I don't talk about it much because it's a battle that I'm actually fighting by myself. Again, nobody really cares what kind of battles you go through. So you really don't want to burden anybody with your battles, I've fought a lot of battles in my life, man, mentally. Demons that's been inside of me throughout my lifetime, I've had to fight off. Man, if I sat here and could name some of the demons, man, I'd be here forever. But I fought them all, man. Again, I'm 55 years old. So I fought a lot of demons throughout life, man. One of the hardest fights you will have, man, is yourself, man. Fighting with yourself is one of the hardest things to do. Fighting to know yourself, to understand your ways, understand your actions, things you do. Sometimes they're so hard to understand, when you got that that extreme urge to do stuff that you shouldn't be doing. And then, you do them. And that's what makes me think that there are, I know there is a creator, we call God. I understand that. I know that, but there's so many unexplained things in this world that there has to be some type of entity or spirit, outside of ourselves. Although I know we're part of a spirit, we're part of energy, we're part of the universe, we're made up of all the atoms and things of that nature. Science has proven to be true. I know that, so I know that, in a sense, God is within us because we are created from all things of earth, all the universe, all things in the space, all things, atoms and neutrons and whatever you call that type of stuff. We're created with all that stuff. So I know within a sense God is within us, but there's a creation that made all this, that started all this, and we call it God, So I know there's things that enter our minds and enter our souls that are unexplained, that have us doing things that we shouldn't do, and we know that we shouldn't do. So that's where the demons come in, when you're fighting your own personality or your own character, your heart. Most of us have a heart. Most of us have a soul. Most of us know right from wrong. Most of us have that gene in our mind that tell us that it's right and that it's wrong. I know there's some people that actually don't, which becomes, at that point, becomes a mental illness. When people are born without the normal, things that makes their body function and makes their minds function, it becomes an illness. It's something went wrong in your birth. Something went wrong. Like if you were born without a leg or born without an arm, something went wrong. That's not normal to be born without a leg or without an arm. That's not a normal birth. So a lot of us are born with something went wrong inside their brain, and a lot of people can't tell right from wrong. They don't know the difference. Like when people kill people without no remorse, that's demons they're fighting, which also something went wrong in their mind. And allows them to kill without remorse. So we all have that, sometimes, things, but, not all of us, but, throughout life, we alter that normalization of your brain activity or your heart. We alter that with things that we do, like drugs and alcohol and, things of that nature. So it makes us do things that we start, and that's what, causes us to fight our demons. Once again, I've beat a lot of demons in life. I've fought them all off, most of them. One of the demons I'm still fighting is the demon of alcoholism. For some reason, I just can't kick that alcohol. Been trying to kick it many times in my life. I've tried to kick it. For some reason, I can't. But I've been doing good these last few days, 4 or 5 days. And it feels good, and that's one of the things when I am not drinking, it feels good. It feels, my body's energized, my body feels normal, I feel like I can tackle the world, and I love that feeling. But on the other side, the problem becomes when I am feeling that way, I feel like, okay, I need to reward myself. I've been doing good so far. So I need to reward myself with a drink. And then that also makes another problem arise. I ain't the type of person that can have 1 or 2 drinks and stop. Because of the alcoholism that I've been fighting all my life. Once I get a drink, I'm off to the races. And I gotta keep drinking. So it's been a hard fight, man, and I've caused some damage because of it. That I'm also fighting, in my body makeup throughout my life. I've been drinking since I was 14 years old. I took my first drink when I was 14 years old, and I have been drinking since. The biggest breaks I've had is when, the few times that I've had to go through prison time. And, 3 years here, 4 years there, things of that nature, a couple times. But it's been a struggle, man. It's been a fight. I ain't gonna lie. And I'm fighting that demon. So, but again, I'm feeling good right now. Because, again, it's been 4 days. I haven't had a drink. That's good for me when I can go 4 days, 5 days or more. Because I would usually have a drink every day. Come home from Sugabears and sit and have a drink. One of the biggest reasons, there's so many reasons why. Simply because it's a demon I'm fighting. It's a disease, I'm fighting. One of the reasons is also, I sit alone quite a bit, just, not to make my wife sound bad or anything. She does have illnesses. So she takes a lot of medication, so it makes it depletes her energy. So she can't do much but sleep. She sleeps a lot because of that. All the medication she takes, that makes her fatigued, all that stuff. Most medication side effect is fatigue. So if you're taking medicine all day long, or you're taking a number of pills a day, twice a day, you're gonna be fatigued, and I understand that, and it has upset me throughout the years. I haven't understood it most of our marriage and stuff like that. So I've been upset many times, a lot of times. But, lately I've been understanding it. I've been seeing, not wanting to accept a lot of things because, how things go because of her illness. But there's been things happening lately that I've been like, oh man, okay, I see what's going on. I got to be understanding, I knew when I met her that she had some illnesses, so I accepted it. Again, it's been a challenge, but I'm accepting it more. So because of that reason, I sit alone a lot. You know, my mind wanders. My mind, you know, my idle mind is a dangerous mind, they'd say. So one of the things that helps me, you know, deal with it all is drinking. So I drank quite a bit. You know, I sit, come home, I get on social media. You know, I make funny videos. Try to make interesting videos, do different stuff, and I sit and drink and talk on social media, and it helps me get through the night. But that's not how I should be doing it. You know, I shouldn't be drinking like that. Nothing wrong with being on social media, getting through stuff, which still helps. But drinking is what I gotta cut out. You know, so to share that is a little embarrassing. Don't get me wrong. I've been holding that back from sharing for a long time. And I don't even know if I'm going to post this video because I really didn't mean to share all that. I just meant to get on here and rant a little bit about my hustle and a few other things. And all because of what I just ranted about, going off course and what I wanted to rant about, kind of forgot what purpose of me to get on here and even rant about. But again, I'm feeling good this morning. If I can continue doing what I'm doing, I might be able to get back into the gym. You know, I haven't been in the gym for about 6 months. I think the last time I was in the gym was around June. And y'all know 2025 was a good year for me in the gym. I really, you know, I focused, and I went 6 months without drinking in 2025. I went 6 months. And I think the problem was I said I was going to be a social drinker. Just drink on occasions, you know. And then I ended up going to a friend's wedding. And I started drinking. I had a couple drinks, and then that was off to the race. I started drinking again. And then because I was drinking so much, it messed up my, you know, gym activity. Because 2025, man, I went the whole year, actually, 2025, working out, and I did good, man. I got my muscles back. You know, I was, you know, energized. You know, my muscles was nice and thick and hard. Y'all seen some of the pictures and videos I put up in 2025. You'll see, you know, I was doing good, man. I got one of the makeups, though, my body. I got great muscle memory. You know, it doesn't take long for me to build my muscles up when I get into the gym, because it's something I did most of my life. Well, I worked out periodically all my life, so my muscles have that what they call muscle memory when it comes to the gym and weights. As soon as I get in the gym, as soon as I start lifting and working out, it doesn't take long for my muscles to start building. Like, they do it right away. Because they're there, it's there already. It really never goes anywhere. I mean, they get a little smaller and they get, you know, kind of softer, but the muscles that you build, because when you build muscle, you break it down, you tear the muscle tissue and you rebuild it. You know, so every time you work out, you're making your muscles stronger, harder, you know, more shaped. So that lasts for a while if you're a person that does it on a regular basis. Even though when you stop, it might seem to other people that you have lost some of your muscle, but you still have that strength, and you can see the muscle and feel the muscle that you built up throughout your life. But when we get back into the gym, a person like me with such good muscle memory, it builds up quick, and other people can see it pretty quick. Like, I can get in the gym, and within 2 to 3 months, you can see the difference. What it would take a normal person to get in the gym, and you probably wouldn't see a difference in them within a year, you know, because of them working out on a constant basis. So hopefully I can get back in the gym. I kind of really am kind of tired of the gym, to tell the truth. Going to the gym, you know, having to work my schedule out to get to the gym, you know. So what I plan on doing is just getting me some small gym equipment, because I don't need to be in the gym lifting heavy weights anymore. I'm 55 years old, and again, I have great muscle memory. So as long as I'm touching some weight, my muscles, again, will show. They will get hard. I don't have to be in there lifting 300 or 400 pounds every day, or, working out for an hour or two, every day. All I got to do is touch the weights, 2, 3, 4 times a week, and I'll build it. Even if I just do 15, 20 minutes on a machine, my muscle memory will just start showing anyways. So what I plan on doing, hopefully here before, not too long from now, because 2026 is coming. Hopefully, I plan on getting a home gym, a small home gym. One of the machines that do multiple exercises, multiple functions, like for chest, arms, back. One of the machines. And if I could touch that machine three times, and the longer I got it, I know I'll be touching it probably every day for 15, 20 minutes. And then shit, my muscles will grow so good. So that's my plan within the beginning of the next year, 2026, to get me a home gym, and then that way I'll be able to do it whenever I get ready without having to worry about making time to get into the gym. Because I used to go to the gym before I went to Sugabears, and I would go 8:30, 9 o'clock in the morning, and go to the gym, work out for about an hour, and then go to Sugabears. But I don't want to do that no more. That is not, my body makeup doesn't like that anymore. My body function is not with that anymore. Again, I'm getting older. I'm 55 years old, so it's getting harder for me to get out to bed. And I still got my illnesses. I got chronic illnesses that ain't going nowhere. I don't care how long I stop drinking. My chronic illnesses ain't going nowhere, but I can, function a lot better if I don't drink, because drinking, affects some of the chronic illnesses I have, and it makes me feel 10 times worse when I drink. That's another reason I need to stop drinking. So, hey, I ranted way off subject. But hey, it was still good to get that little bit of stuff off my chest. That's what I do, man. Some people will say, well, why do you share your personal business? It's good to get that shit off your chest, though, man. It is what it is. I ain't hiding much no more. I don't really need to hide much no more. I'm myself. I'm not trying to live outside of what I am anymore. I did that, done that, before, and that was not a way to live. I hated living that way. I've said that many times in some of my rants, trying to live a way that I know ain't me. I don't want to do that. I just want to be me. And one of my characteristics is talking. I like to talk. I like to share. I like to vent. One of the things I could have been a radio personality or news. I worked for the news before. I could have been a news anchor or, a professional podcaster, because I like to talk. I like to share things because it makes me feel good when I get it off my chest. Sometimes I'm talking to my wife and I can tell she's like, boy, I wish this nigga would shut up. She don't say it, but I can tell she be thinking that shit sometimes. I'll talk her to death sometimes. I get on the road, But again, I'm pulling up the Sugabears. So I ranted way off subject what I wanted to rant about. So I'll get that in a couple days on another one of my rants. I'll be doing this periodically more often, because again, like I said, it helps me, and I'm trying to, fight this alcoholism, and it's probably going to help me talk about it. I was thinking about joining an AA group. I've done a few AA groups throughout my life, and I really don't like AA. I mean, it's just a bunch of, people saying that they don't drink no more that still drink. coming there looking like they did meth the night before, smoking crazy cigarettes, you know, looking all old. These 30 years old be looking like they 90, you know. So I don't think I want to go to AA. I was telling my wife I might join an online AA. But then again, what I'm doing now could be my AA. My personal AA is just to, you know, rant to you guys. You know what I'm saying? Get on here and rant to all my social media followers. I don't care what y'all think about me, man, you know? Because I'm not living for y'all anymore. I'm not living for other people anymore like I used to live. I'm living for myself. So whatever I have to do to make myself good, feel good, to make myself live better and make better choices, you know, that's what I have to do. And if one of the things is to talking to y'all and sharing some of my personal stuff, I mean, I ain't gonna share it, you know, it ain't gonna be too personal that I share, but it's gonna be, you know, a little personal sometimes. You know, something that's on my mind, on my heart, on my chest, I need to get it off. And if that's gonna make me, you know, live a better life and help me make better choices, then that's just so be it. Then that's just what I'll do, regardless of what y'all think about me or not. Again, I'm not living for y'all anymore. I'm living for myself. Trying to make these last few years I have, man, I'm 55, make the last years of my life as comfortable as possible, as happy as possible. So I gotta, you know, figure it out and do different things, man. So I'll talk to y'all again soon. Hey, that's all I can do. Later, guys.